Hello students. Previous session we discussed regarding various factors responsible for the growth of Indian political system. After discussing various features or acts responsible for the origin of the Indian political system, independent India accepted the constitution on 26 November 1949 and came into effect on 26 January 1950. So India started building its own political system with the process of integration of princely state. So we are going to discuss regarding the first government that was formed with the help of this factor that is known as integration of princely state. Before we go into the integration of the princely state, we'll come to know the meaning of princely state. A princely state was a nominally sovereign entity of British India during the British Raj that was not directly governed by the British but rather by an Indian ruler under the paramountcy of the British. That means princely states was a state ruled by India, but the supreme power was under the control of the British. So the Britishers established their supremacy over those princely states. Then they have given only limited powers in the hands of the ruler to run internal administration. They have kept their paramountcy with themselves only. That was known as the princely state. So the British India consisted of British Indian provinces and the princely states. The British Indian provinces were directly under the control of the British government, that is admitted, and thus transferred to India on 15th August 1947. So on 15th August 1947, the Britishers transferred the power in the hands of the India. Then the princely states accepted British supremacy but enjoyed certain amount of freedom in their internal affairs. After vesting the power in the hands of the ruler, the Britishers kept with themselves certain powers. Then this was known as the paramountcy of the British. The Indian Independence Act of 1947 declared the lapse of paramountcy with effect from 15th August 1947. So, in the meanwhile, after passing the Indian Independence Act of 1947, the Britishers lost their supremacy over the princely state. That means the princely state got independent authority or free from British rule. With the princely states regained their status, not only they get the freedom from the British rule, but they regained their status, became legally independent and free to join India or Pakistan. So they can join in India or Pakistan. So the small states realized that in course of time the small state means princely state, realized that it was not possible to maintain independent existence. So they come to the conclusion that we can't establish our own sovereign power or we can't rule independently. So, and we're willing to accede to India or Pakistan. They thought that either we can join India or Pakistan. So that was the state of the condition was existed during that period. Then in course of time, the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel took charge of the Indian States Department and VP Menon became secretary on 5th July 1947. They dealt with the matters arising between the central government and the Indian state. All states except a few acceded to Indian Union in accordance with an instrument of accession. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was given the task of the integration of the princely state. The Indian Independence Act of 1947 gave princely state the choice to accede to either India or Pakistan or remain independent. So this was the state of the condition was existed. So then, as per the instrument of the accession, by which they exceeded only three subjects. That means, as per the act, that is known as Instrument of Accession Act. So they exceeded means they have handed over only three powers. Those powers were known as defense, foreign affairs, and communications. The rulers of these states were promised honorable position and were assured of their rights and privileges. They have surrendered only these three powers, remaining they kept with themselves only. Of these states situated within the boundaries of dominion of India, about 565 states excepting Junagadh, Hyderabad, Kashmir and few had exceeded before the independence itself. So remaining were under the position of India. So then the process of integration was threefold and known as Patel scheme. On the basis of the contribution rendered by the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel towards the integration of the princely state, the act came into known as the Patel scheme. So he incorporated his scheme incorporated three characteristic features. First one, merger of small states with adjoining provinces. About 216 states were merged with the provinces adjoining them. Merger of 24 states of Orissa, 14 state central provinces, Pudukkottai with Madras, etc. These merged states were included in Part B of the Constitution. This was the first factor incorporated in his scheme towards the integration of the states. Then the second one, grouping of small state. So many small states grouped themselves into form a big state. With the ruler of the most important one became the Raja Pramukhas, for example, Union of Saurashtra, Patiala and East Punjab states, Union, etc. These unions were called Part B states. Then the third factor, that is known as integration into chief commissioners provinces. About 61 states which were small and backward were converted into centrally administered areas as chief commissioners provinces and were called Part C states. Himachal Pradesh, Ajmer, Coorg, Bihar. So this way here Patel scheme incorporated these three factors. On the basis of these three factors only, he made the integration of princely states. Then afterwards accession of Junagadh, Hyderabad and Kashmir. So whereas in case of the Junagadh, that was ruled by Nawab and declared accession to Pakistan. So he wanted to join Pakistan. So it was against the wishes of the people of the state. The people are not ready to join in Pakistan. So they started opposing the Nawab's rule. They were in favor of joining India. The people of Junagadh, they want to remain in India or they want to join in India. So, but Nawab was against the interest of the people. So, for that purpose, after the declaration of the accession, he declared so that we are going to join in Pakistan. So the people started raising their voices. They started the revolution against the Nawab. As a result, he fled to Pakistan. That means he went to Pakistan. A plebiscite was held in which the people voted to accede to Indian Union. When the Nawab fled to Pakistan, that time that was put before the vote for the people of the Junagadh. Plebiscite means vote for the people, or the people can say their opinion. So that was kept. Plebiscite was held in which the people voted to accede to Indian Union. So they want to remain in India. Later, Junagadh was merged with Saurashtra. So this way, the Junagadh came under the control of India. Then second one, Hyderabad. Hyderabad, the largest of the princely state. So it was one of the largest princely state during that time, was surrounded by Indian territory. So it was also surrounded by the Indian territory. Its ruler, the Nizam, wanted an independent status. He wanted independent. He don't want to join in Pakistan or India. He wanted to remain independent because it was they all the princely states have the choice to remain independent, or they can join in India or Pakistan. So according to that, so the Nizam wanted an independent status. He made a standstill agreement. He made the agreement with India in November 1947 to maintain the status quo which existed before 1947. Before 1947, he made an agreement with India to maintain as it is. That means the India is having no right to interfere in the matter relating to the administration in respect of Hyderabad. So that was an agreement. It was entered before 1947, but the Indian government felt that an independent Hyderabad would pose security threat. So after making the agreement, after the India felt that it is threat to their threat to their security. So in the meanwhile, there was a movement against the oppressive rule. In the meanwhile, there was a movement against the oppressive role of the Nawab. That means the people are not ready to accept the Nawab's attitude. So they started raising their voices against the Nawab's rule. The peasantry and the women joined in large numbers. That means the people started raising their voices against the Nawab. So the organization or the movement consisted of peasantry people, women, and large number of the people took part in this movement. The Congress and the Communists were in the forefront of the movement. Though this paramilitary force named Razakars, the Nizam ostracized the people. So in the meanwhile, to suppress the movement raised by the people of Hyderabad, so what the Nawab did, the Nizam what he did, he with the help of the paramilitary force named Razakars. Razakar is one of the paramilitary organization. With the help of the Razakars, he boycotted, he resisted the movement raised by the people of Hyderabad. The Razakars raped, looted, murdered, and targeted the non-Muslims. So this was the state of the condition. They wanted to curb the power of the Hyderabad, power of the people. So to end this anarchy, so this was the state of the condition was existed in Hyderabad. So the India wanted to remove all such type of the situation. To that effect, to end this anarchy, the Indian army entered into Hyderabad in September 1948. This police action is known as Operation Polo. Operation Polo is nothing but it is an moment, or it is one of the weapon incorporated to reduce the threat or to overcome the Razakars' oppressive rule. This police action is known as Operation Polo. The Nizam surrendered, and it was followed by complete accession of Hyderabad into Indian Union. So earlier Junagadh came under the control of the India. In the meanwhile, with the help of the Operation Polo, Nizam also surrendered, and it was followed by complete accession of Hyderabad into Indian Union. So this way the princely states comes under the control of the India. So this way the Patel scheme worked out towards the integration of the princely state and to build India a big state. Then next one, the third one, integration in respect of the Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir was a princely state. Then its ruler Hari Singh was a Hindu. Ruler was Hindu, and the population was largely Muslim. So population was largely Muslim. They did not want to merge with India or Pakistan, but have an independent status for the state. So even the Kashmir want to remain independent. They don't want to join in Pakistan nor in India. So they want to remain independent. There was a popular movement led by Sheikh Abdullah of the National Conference for removal of the king. In the meanwhile, the political situation took place in Kashmir. So one Sheikh Abdullah of the National Conference for removal of the king, they arranged the conspiracy for the removal of the king. They were against joining Pakistan also. So that party was against joining Pakistan. They thought of themselves as Kashmir. They want to remain as a Kashmir. So in view of geographical contiguity and the greater numerical strength of the Muslims in the state, Pakistan was anxious to bring it under its rule. So in the meanwhile, Pakistan want to control or establish the power over Kashmir. So this was a state of the condition was existed. In October 1947, Kashmir was invaded by tribal infiltrators of Pakistan. In the meanwhile, the Kashmir was occupied by the Pakistani people or one of the group, that is the tribal infiltrators of Pakistan. This forced the Maharaja to seek Indian military. So this attitude of the Pakistan makes the king to get the assistance from India and to get rid of the situation existed in the Kashmir, or to remove the threat, or to prevent the revolution. India reacted positively. India helped or provided its assistance towards the removal of the invention by the Pakistan. Then positively, after the instrument of accession was signed on 26th October 1947, this was accepted by Sheikh Abdullah. Even Sheikh Abdullah was also accepted. Though this Kashmir, the bone of contention to resolve the crisis, the Constituent Assembly of India made a special provision through Article 370 to provide a separate constitution to the state along with other provisions. So this way, the Kashmir was also exceeded the position of India, joined India. So as per the instrument, accession was signed by Kashmir as well as the India. According to that agreement, to resolve the crisis, the separate Constituent Assembly of India made a special provision. So in Constituent Assembly, special provision was incorporated towards the matter relating to the Kashmir administration, to provide a separate constitution to the state along with the provisions. In April 1950, the Security Council appointed by Sir Owen as UN representative to help the governments to solve the dispute of Jammu and Kashmir. In the meanwhile, the Security Council was appointed. Security Council appointed Sir Owen to deal the matter relating to the Kashmir. Since then, it is before the Security Council which is yet to be solved. In 1951, the Constituent Assembly met in the state to frame a constitution. In February 1954, the accession of the state to India was ratified by the Constituent Assembly. In November 1956, it adopted a constitution legalizing the status of Jammu and Kashmir as a unit of the Indian Union. As per the Constituent Assembly, so Jammu and Kashmir as a unit of the Indian Union. It is a significant to note that the Constitution of Jammu and Kashmir declared the accession of the state to India as a final. As per the accord reached between the Prime Minister of India and Sheikh Abdullah, the post of the Prime Minister of Jammu and Kashmir was redesigned as a Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir on 25th February 1975. By 1990, Kashmir came under the grip of militants who were demanding for a separate Kashmir nation. It remained the cause of conflict between India and Pakistan. Several groups were made by Pakistan, including Kargil War of 1919. In the meanwhile, it was under President's rule and under the control of armed forces for a long time. Only after 2002, free elections are being conducted. There is a opinion that Article 370 should be revoked as it does not allow full integration of the state with India. This was a state of the condition was existed after the passing the act, or the Kashmir issue is not just a dispute between India and Pakistan, but also as a dimensions of total integration, political autonomy, preserving the Kashmir culture or Kashmiriyat also. The process of integration in the Constitution, 7th Amendment, which included all the states in Part A and B in one list. Thus, the Indian states lost their identity and became a part of one uniform political organization under the Constitution of India. So, the biggest individual factor in the above event was the personality of the Sardar Patel. The success of integration is attributed to his contributions, intense patriotism, and great administrative skill. He handled the kings of princely states with patience, tact, and sympathy. He was a man of iron will. The integration of state is the greatest contribution to independent India. So remaining we'll discuss in the next session.